Hey everybody, welcome back to Life with Becky. Thank you for joining me here. So at the top here, I wrote May 2023. I figure it out later and go back and rewrite June because this is actually my budget for June. So my budget for June looks very different. And so I've decided to star a few categories, and one of my goals this month is to go ahead and track the spending in those. And you'll see me set up a little bit of tracking later. And then I want to make sure I'm setting aside money for vacation out of each paycheck. I actually get an extra paycheck this month, which is awesome. And I have a vacation planned next month. And then my checklist is simply to finish my name changes. With the divorce, I'm going back to my maiden name. And that has been a long and tedious process, as I remember it being before. So for my income, my regular paycheck is going to be the normal amount, the $20.30 total for the month. And then, like I said, I get an extra paycheck, and I wanted to break that out here so that I would know why my income hopped up. So it's an extra $10.15. And that's simply because there are 5 Thursdays in the month of June. That's literally the only reason. This happens to me twice a year. I get an extra paycheck every month. And excuse me. And as I've written there, you see that it says mortgage covered for $10.40, which is the rough amount of my mortgage. I'll explain that a little bit later in a minute. And I've already done this budget on paper elsewhere, and I know that I'm going to be saving a little over $1,100 this month because of that extra paycheck towards my vacation, which is in July. I'm looking forward to it. So as you can see, I've already filled out my calendar here because that's just no fun for you guys to watch me do. I've listed out my paychecks. There's the 3 that I get, which is awesome. It's also going to be Father's Day, Quinn's birthday. Happy birthday, Quinn. And then I have a short weekend away, 2 short weekends away, one by myself at a place that I'm staying for free, one with my dad that he's paying for most of it, and then the big vacation is in July. So diving into the monthly budget, we are just going to start with all of the home items. So while I write that out, let me talk to you about why my mortgage is covered. So you may remember, those butterflies are so cute, but they always make it harder to write. You may remember from my previous video where I was setting up my April budget that I mentioned that my parents are wonderful, generous people who have offered to help me out financially, and that is what we have decided to do. They have given me some money that I can utilize to help pay my monthly bills. And so what I decided to do was set aside that money in a savings account that is specifically for my mortgage so that I don't have to come up with that $1,000 every month. And so, I do, but I'm transferring it over them so that the $1,000 is not coming out of my income every month. So that's why it says mortgage covered. And I went ahead and put that in my income so that it doesn't look like I don't have a mortgage, but I'm also not taking it out of my income. So that's why I put that there. It's just for ease of accounting. And everything else is the same, including now we've got lawn service coming twice a month because it's been crazy. In my new budget, personal care is going to be for services, not for like drugstore or any other type items that I might need to purchase. These are just going to be for services like getting my hair done, getting my nails done, etc. Clothes, I decided to set aside a little bit of money every month in case I need to. For example, I just bought new pajamas, so that kind of thing will help significantly. And then if I don't use it every month, then it'll just constantly be set aside and tracked, and I'll know how much I have to spend. Groceries, I'm taking down to $300 a month. Now, if I spend more than that while Mike is still living with me, he will contribute towards that, but that's how much I intend to spend for myself. Gas, I'm taking down to $75 because I live right next to my office. I'm not planning on walking to work because I'm sorry, I don't want to get sweaty at 8 o'clock in the morning. Thank you very much. But I don't use very much gas if I'm just driving my normal schedule. Life insurance, as always, is $33. Entertainment for $100 a month is going to include things like eating out, fast food, if I have to order tickets for something, things like that. And once again, if I don't use it, I will bank it and you'll be able to draw on that. I might need to start setting aside more because, oh my gosh, all of the good concerts are coming this year. I am going to more concerts this year than I've gone to in the last 5 years combined. Well, in the last 5 non-COVID years combined. So don't include 2020 and 2021, but oh my goodness, there are so many good concerts happening this year. It's ridiculous. And then Netflix I am paying for $15 a month. Mike is paying for Disney Plus, and we are sharing both of those accounts. If Netflix decides to be stupid about that, like I think they're going to, then we may have to revisit. So that's fabulous. Then I got to do this fun little thing today where I got to cross off my credit and loans category and put a smiley face there. And I'm going to leave you in suspense about why I did that for just a minute. For other, I am adding giving back into my budget. It has been a long time since we did a month, since we were giving on a monthly basis. I'm going to spend $200 a month on charitable causes. I don't know specifically what those are going to be yet. I don't know if they'll be recurring every month to the same groups or if they're going to be different every month. I haven't decided that yet. But I'm excited to have a little bit of leeway to be able to do that. And again, the help from my parents was a big part of that. So I put the total down at the bottom of $4,085. That is budgeted, which is the total income that matches from my previous page. Something else you might have noticed if you've been paying attention, and I don't know how many people are actually watching these every single time I post, but I'm just going to put this in there for my own knowledge in case I ever watch these back. I didn't put down any sinking funds. I used to be saving for medical expenses, home expenses, car expenses, my stepkid, my bonus kids, I call them my bonus kids now, and gifts, Christmas and birthday gifts. None of those categories are on here. My parents gave me enough so that I could fully fund those for the rest of the year, and I don't have to worry about those coming out of my monthly budget either, which is such a privileged position to sit in, and I am very aware of that, and I am very, very thankful once again that they have made that possible. So now we get to talk about why I crossed through that credit and debt section, because once again, bless my parents' hearts, the sum of money that they gave me was enough to pay off both credit cards. So you'll see I wrote there as of 5/6/23, as of May 6th of this year, our balance was $49.46.25. So on May 12th, I paid off the whole thing. And that was on the Capital One Visa. The credit union Visa was a balance of $47.21.98. Paid that off too with this lump sum. And we chose to do that. Mike and I talked about it, and we chose to do that because that way the interest stopped accruing. We didn't have to worry about any of it. And what we did was we calculated how much Mike's half of that would be because we were working together to pay these off. And by the way, yes, I am incredibly happy to have these taken care of. So Mike is still paying me what we consider to be, quote, rent. But since I no longer need it to go towards my monthly bills, it's just going to go back into my savings account. And I'm actually going to help. That's going to help bump up my emergency fund. And so that's what I'm writing here, extra from Mike. Anything else that he gives me is going to go back into my emergency fund. Since it doesn't actually have to pay anything off now, it's going to help bump that up and make it a little bit more robust because it's pretty slim right now. I have other savings, but they're for very specific purposes. And obviously I would pull from them if I had an emergency fund, but I want my emergency fund to actually be usable for an emergency. So the personal care, the services that I'm going to use that for, I want to use cash. But then for clothes, gas, entertainment, and groceries, I'm going to track those items. So I put a red star by those, and now I'm going to set up those tracking categories. This is not going to be fancy. It's going to look like other months that I've done this. I do love these butterflies. They're so cute. And I'm just going to set up a half a page for each of these and make sure that I have enough space. But it's going to be pretty basic. I gave myself more than half a page for the groceries because that makes sense. The groceries, and then I think that's gas and then that's gas at the bottom that you can't see. Sorry about that. And this is where I'm going to track my clothes and entertainment spending. And these are things that I'm spending with my debit card. And that's it for this month. Got to put the butterfly back on to mark my place. So I can grab it easily. And that's it. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up or put something in the comments, or just let me know that you're watching and listening and doing life alongside me. I also just want to let you know that you are worthy, you are loved, you are valued just for being you. You don't have to have a certain amount of money, you don't have to have a certain job, you don't have to be or act a certain way. You're just awesome for being you. Just wanted to let you know that today. Have a great one. Thanks for joining me.